Our job was to clear out all the obstacles so the infantry could land. It was my turn to jump off the boat landing craft, and I tripped. I fell headfirst into the water, and just at that time, there was this explosion. My helmet got full of water, and I sank to the bottom. With all the weight I had, someone pulled me back up. I don't know who that was. I crawled almost the whole length of that beach because they were hitting us so hard. It was unbelievable to get through the fire. We had 88s, machine guns. They were throwing everything at us. There were dead bodies all over the place. They had us in a crossfire, and you couldn't move. You just couldn't move. As I'm laying there, this guy, I don't know who he was an officer. He stood up and he said, there are two kind of people on this beach. Those that are dead, those that are gonna be dead. Let's get going.
A center of learning like GW, and with its significant veteran population and with its strong connection to the military and certainly our first veteran, George Washington, the honoring and somewhat reliving of this history is what makes this institution great.
This experience for me sort of brings a lot of things home. It's a way for me to bear witness to these ceremonies and what happened here. Not just to come and see the pomp and circumstance, but to directly be able to connect with the veterans and the citizens of France in the experience, so that later when I become elderly, I can serve to bear witness and as a primary source to what happened during these ceremonies.
We had a lot of coursework. It was part of a class. We went to several lectures from different professors at George Washington, and we also went to several events around DC.
I think what's so exciting and innovative about the Veterans History Writing Project is the way in which it engages students simultaneously with multiple modes of learning and expression. So they're working in their classes on traditional research and writing projects. They are working online in multimedia formats, and they are now working in film production. But the other element of this project is that it has this emotional context.
Let's go.
Getting the opportunity to lay the wreath at Pointe du Hoc was something that I didn't expect that I would get to do when I came out here. It was kind of a surprise opportunity to me, and it was just really touching. It was really moving, and I'm just so appreciative to be able to have been a part of that experience. From the very beginning, one of the emphasis of the program has been this sort of cultural exchange, combined with learning a lot about the history. Both of those things are really important to me, both as a student and as a veteran.
A toast. 11 months. Omaha Beach to Bremen.
I think the ceremony that stands out the most to me was the ceremony on the beach on June 6th at the actual hour of the invasion. And the veterans went down to the beach and they gave a toast to their fallen comrades.
29. Let's go! Go!
And then afterwards they went out and they unveiled a new memorial. And there's a speech by one of the family members just addressing all of the soldiers who had died. Yeah, it made me think of some of my friends.
I want each of you to know that their commitment to their fellow service members and veterans endures. Sergeant First Class Brian Hawthorne's grandfather served under General Patton and General MacArthur. Brian himself served 2 tours in Iraq, earned the Bronze Star in Baghdad for saving the life of his best friend, and today he and his wife use their experience to help other veterans and military families navigate theirs. And Brian's here in Normandy to participate in Sunday's jump. And here, just yesterday, he re-enlisted in the Army Reserve. And this generation, this 9/11 generation of service members, they too felt something. They answered some call. They said, I will go.
It was very surprising and incredible to be picked to be part of the speech. And even just to go on the trip was a real honor for me. I mean, before we even left, they were saying, this is probably going to be the coolest thing you do while you're in the military. And I think that's certainly true for me.
I feel that I'm not just sort of here as a bystander, but I'm actually participating and making some real connections with some really important, interesting, and inspiring people.
When I think about my own experiences in war in Afghanistan, when I reflect on what I went through, sometimes it seems like I'm more like remembering a movie or something I read. Sometimes I have to really consciously think like that was actually me stumbling around the desert and getting shot at. It doesn't always feel like it actually happened, and then at other times it just feels almost painfully real. And when I see the veterans at these ceremonies, you could see their eyes are closed or their eyes are glossed over, and you could tell that they're back there. They're 70 years younger and they're storming the beaches again. It just kind of reminds me that's my experiences. They're going to be with me for the rest of my life, for good or for bad.
Over that.